guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Stacy. This is going to be my December reading wrap up. I know this is kind of late, sorry about that, but I still wanted to talk about these books. And we had a snowstorm here a few days ago, and there's still snow, and I thought it would be really pretty to film outside for this video. Got little mittens on, and I just got this hat from Walmart. I think it's really cute with a little puff on it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the books that I read. Interesting enough, I did read some Christmas themed books in December, but some of these would work just fine for not at Christmas time. They weren't that Christmassy, or that wasn't like the main theme of the story. So anyway, the very first book that I read is a very Christmassy book, and I would not want to read this except for at Christmas time, and that is Christmas at Sugar Plum Manor by Roseanna M. White. I gave this one 3 stars. I really like Roseanna M. White. I've read several of her other books and really liked those, but for whatever reason, this one just didn't work a whole lot for me. I didn't really relate to the characters. They came across as really young, the main woman and the guy. This is a Christian romance. Yeah, they just came across as kind of young for me. It was a novella, and I was really surprised by that. I didn't realize how long it was going into it because I had it as an ebook. And I thought it was like a 400-page book. It took me forever to get through. And then I saw someone post that it was like 200 pages. And I was like, what? How was that 200 pages? Because I just could not get through this book. But it was okay. There was nothing really wrong with it. It just wasn't for me. It had a lot of really good faith content, which I really love. So yeah, that's that. And again, like, I wouldn't read this one unless it was Christmas time. It was very Christmassy. It was like a nutcrackery kind of theme. Not a retelling in any way, but it had a lot of mention of nutcracker stuff. The next one I read was Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret by Benjamin Stevenson. This one you could read at any time of the year. This one is sort of set around Christmas, but it's Christmas in Australia, which to me doesn't feel like Christmas. There's a lot of references about how hot it is and people like going swimming and stuff on Christmas Day and having barbecues, and that doesn't feel like Christmas to me. I'm sure it is for a lot of people who live, you know, further south, but for me it just didn't feel very Christmassy. But the mystery itself was really good. I love this series and how Benjamin Stevenson writes these mystery books. He writes to where he's like talking to the reader and he's dishing out clues to you, and he lets you know a lot of times when it's a clue. So he definitely gives you all the information to figure it out at the end. I did not figure it out. Not surprising, but I really did enjoy it. And even though it doesn't feel like Christmas in Australia to me, I still enjoyed learning about what it's like in Australia around Christmas time. So there's that. I did really like this book. Did I say 4 stars? I don't remember. The next one I read was The Christmas Eve Letter by Elyse Douglas. This was a clean time travel romance book. Gave this one 4 stars. You also don't have to read this one at Christmas time. It took place around Christmas, but that was not the main theme of this book at all. It was way more about the time travel aspect and the romance, and there was a bit of a mystery in this one as well. This one took place during the Gilded Age in New York City, so I love that time frame and I love the setting in New York. But this is about a woman who is in an antique store, and she comes across a lamp or an antique lantern kind of thing, and she takes it home and she finds a letter tucked inside of it, and it's a letter from a man who is in love with one of her ancestors. She gets transported back into the time of the letter, and she has to try to connect that man with her ancestor. And there's also a romance for her. I really love the romance in this. I thought it was lovely. I was really invested in, you know, what was going to happen with the romance, and I love the time setting. So this was a really great book, and there's more to this series. This was book 1. I don't know how many more there are, but I really recommend it. The next one I read was Murder on the North Pole Express by Patricia Meredith. Again, I gave this one 4 stars. This is book 2 in her Sam Shovel series. I think that's the name of the series. I'm not really sure. This one is definitely Christmassy, and I would read this at Christmas time. This one I listened to on audio, and her husband narrates these books, and he does a fantastic job of narrating. He like changes his voice for all the characters. So brilliant. It's full of Christmassy movie quotes and fantastical creatures, and I really loved the creature characters in this book. It is a mystery that takes place on the North Pole Express. And Sam Shovel is a snowman who comes to life for like, I think it was 12 days out of the year around Christmas time. He comes to life and he has to help solve this mystery on the train. It was really cute. I loved it. The next one was The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter, 4 stars. This one, the cover looks so Christmassy, but again, this wasn't really a Christmassy read. This was about mystery authors or thriller authors who get an invitation to go to an English manor over the Christmas holiday. And this is enemies to lovers. A lot of this had to do with the romance and the mystery that happens once they're at the manor. The woman who invites them is... Was that a spoiler? It might be a spoiler, but the woman who invites them goes missing, and they have to figure out what is going on at this manor. They are also trapped there because of snow, which I love. I love that setting so much. But yeah, it really didn't feel Christmassy. So you could go ahead and pick this book up anytime. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. The next one I read, not Christmassy at all. That is The Secrets She Kept by Christy Barritt. This is, gosh, book 7 or 8? I don't remember. Book 7 or 8 in the True Crime Junkies series that I have been reading and loving. I gave this one 5 stars. This one brought a lot of closure to a storyline that has been going on since the very beginning, which I loved. I loved how it played out. It was very sci-fi. She does a great job of making these books, every book in the series is very different. It's written differently. It features like a different character, a different storyline. And this one had like a sci-fi aspect to it. It reminded me of the movie Total Recall. I didn't know that was going to go that way, but I thought it was a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely still loving that whole series. And the last book that I read in December, you should definitely read in January. It's called The Unwanted Guest by Shari Lepena. This is a secular thriller book. I've read several of her books in the past, but it's been a few years, and I really liked the other books that I read. This one I gave 4 stars. This one is a thriller that takes place in a hotel where the guests are snowed in. And so they are all trapped in this massive snowstorm. And it's this, different cast of characters where, nobody really knows anything about anybody else. And people end up dying, and you got to figure out what's going on. It was very kind of Agatha Christie-like in the setting and the way the mystery plays out with all the characters. I really enjoyed this. I listened to this one on audio, and it was a very quick read. I think I listened to this... I've been listening to books as I'm cooking dinner at night, and I think I listened to this in like 2 or 3 nights and got it finished. And that's, just having it on for like an hour or so. I do listen at 2 times speed though, so there's that. But yeah, I loved this setting and trying to figure out what was going on. I guessed who did it, and I think this might be the first time ever. I love mysteries, but I never guess. But I did get it. I got it at the very end, but I did get it before the reveal. So, yay me! Anyway, those are all the books that I read in December. It was a pretty good month. And, yeah, we're already over a week into January. So, I am looking forward to more books with snowy settings where people are trapped in the snow. Hopefully I'm never trapped in the snow, but I enjoy reading about other people being trapped in the snow. So yeah, that is all I've got for you guys. I hope you guys had a great December, having a great January, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.